Hello, it's the beginner crafter. Welcome to another FlossTube video. Today I'm showing again all the projects that I have apart from the fairy. I think this year fairy is out of the question. I'll try to get back to it next year so that I actually get another finish. I'll just need time to deal with the beads and stuff. So the fairy not, but all the others I did work on. So let's start with the angel, which is kind of the most pressing for the moment because it's my Christmas decoration. And I have almost half of it done. I still need to finish the sort of wreath on her head. There will be another one that she would be holding in her hands. The whole skirt, the blouse, well, I think the whole thing is actually a dress, so I need to finish all of that. So it's still some work to be done, and I really dislike the length, or rather the shortness of the yarn or the thread that they gave. It's just really annoying to work with such short strips, and it just needs so much rethreading and rethreading all the time. In the back, as you can see, I've left quite longish tails for now because I've had a situation where I made a mistake and I had to unravel and then stitch again, and because I cut luckily I didn't cut a lot, but I'm pretty sure I could have made another stitch with the yarn had I kept it, so that was a bit annoying. But yeah, I now don't cut off for now. I will later on, once I'm finished, or more or less sure that I haven't made any mistakes that I would need that particular thread again. I also worked on the Blackwork stitch along, so I've got November done. November fillers done. I think they're here at the bottom. As far as I remember, those were the colors that I used, and those were the shapes. It just doesn't want to focus. Ah, there you go. So yeah, these are the ones that I've worked on. These here, and I quite like them. I do have to say I mostly like the color, that it's so dark. Cut. I have to say I mostly like the color, that it's so dark on those edges. They're the most crisp and you see the shape of it the most. So that's the one I guess that also gives me the reason to like those fillers, because they are made using those colors. I also did a bit more of the border, so I actually have about a quarter of the border made. So it's still a long way to go with the border. It does take a bit of time. I don't expect to finish this in this year, during this year, because I think the filler, well, it might be on Friday the 30th. of December. It should be out actually then, but I don't think I'll be able to stitch in one day so many things. So I don't really expect to finish it in December, but it should be done in January. So that's where I'm keeping my hopes on, and that's where I want to sort of focus. There are already preparations for the 2023 stitch along for Blackwork on the Peppermint Purples webpage and Facebook group. So if it's something that you'd like to try, I think there's still time to join to have it for free. So hop over there and you'll be able to stitch. You'll be able to stitch next year with everyone. Next, I was working on the mini Marvellous garden. So I started adding threads, and as you can see, there are already more threads parked than after the cleaning up. But I did sort of decide to start going back to this grid by grid. It will take me a while before I clean it up as well. I managed to do some also stitches on the first page that used to be confetti stitches, and I've cleaned up page 2 a little bit as well, but it will take me longer, especially that this is the tail and the wings, I think, of the peacock, so there are a lot of shades. So again, a bit of confetti stitches, not as much very singular stitches, but they just don't go together in one square, so it's more difficult to get to the square shape with the peacock and just doing things. I've also started gridding the next page because I was considering actually starting doing the third page because some of the colors may appear there, but for now I think I only did that when a color that I had and finished here just reappeared over there. I think that was the only reason I actually stitched there, and then I didn't continue with the gridding because it just didn't make sense for now. So the plan still is to finish the page number 2 and then go to page 3 and just do square by square sort of. Then Miranda got quite a lot done because I realized I watched my 2021 wrap-up video with the goals for the year because I wanted to check am I really on board with my goals, and I knew that with some projects I was already done with the goal, and actually I exceeded the goal, but I just wanted to check because I didn't remember Miranda. And it turns out the goal for Miranda was to finish this page and possibly to go to the next page of this row. And I got a little stressed that I will not achieve the goal. The page ends here. So as you can see, there's still quite a lot to finish, and there's not a lot of time in December to finish. And I'm also wondering, because I can see that the colors that are here, they continue on the next page, but not for a long time. So I wouldn't really want to cut them and move to the next square, but I also don't really want to stitch on another page. So I will do some stitching on this page as well, but I think I will just consider it finished as that page over there, and then just move here to the next page, so that I do the amount of stitches I was kind of supposed to do when I said that I would finish the page, but just not be bothered so much with all those colors and parked yarns, parked threads, because I already have so many of them, as you can see. So I really want to move to the next page and start unraveling that knot, because it will take a while to untangle everything over there and actually start using those threads up a little bit. And yeah, so that's the plan for the rest of the month. So with Miranda, I should just sort of fit in with the goal for the year, more or less. So that's what it is with Miranda, but you can see now clear that there's a sky part and then there's the sea part. I think now you can see those colors more clearly, and also the shades of the sea, so it looks much better and much more interesting. So I'm glad I got over here and stitched yeah, quite a lot. I don't remember how many stitches I did, but quite a few hundred of stitches. So really nice progress here. And the last project is Avarice. I didn't work as much on Avarice because I wanted to stitch Miranda a lot. So Avarice got, I don't know, 200 or 300 stitches only. And I'm saying only just because in the last few weeks it was several hundred, like over 10 hundred stitches. So now 3 is not much. And what I did was this part here, this dark here, and then using this dark but also some other colors, completing a little bit more of this arc here. And I filled a little bit more the first page. Now I'll be focusing more on page 2 because of all the confetti stitches that you can guess are on page 1. So I'll do more on page 2. This is actually page 3, so sometimes I will also get there as well. But the main focus will be on page 2, and I guess you can see that it's getting more and more colored every time, but I think from now on in the next FlossTube, when I will be showing Avarice, you will see much bigger progress on page 2 than now. But again, now I also didn't do much of a progress on Avarice anyway. And in here it's difficult to just see the progress without doing many stitches, because 300 on the peacock, on the mini Marvellous garden, makes a huge difference. Maybe not huge, but it's a big difference. On the angel it would be really huge difference, but on Avarice, just because there are 24,000 stitches, I think, or 2400,000 stitches in total, 300 really isn't a lot. So you may not even notice that there is some progress here. I just know that there are some white stitches that are no longer white in here, and that dark spot over there, that's definitely the progress for this time. And Angel and Avarice, like for comparison, this is the Angel. Angel and Avarice are two projects that I started this year, and when I watched the video for my goals and for the wrap up of 2021, I did not plan to start anything. I wanted to focus on finishing, and I did, and I finished two projects. I finished Hogwarts Crest and the Virgo. And Blackwork for last year, but that doesn't count much. But I wanted to focus on finishing stuff, and I only said that if I find a project that really grips me and I couldn't live without it, then I would start it. And I did. Avarice and the whole Deadly Sins, 7 Deadly Sins series. They're absolutely amazing, and just because of how large they are and how long they will take me, I wanted to start as soon as possible, so I started them this year. Angel is a very little piece, so I don't mind starting it as much, but I've also been watching some videos, most of them from a year or two ago, but I just got to them, about chatelaines, and I realized this is also something I want to stitch. But one, it is quite expensive, because I think I would like to stitch using the yarns and the beads they suggest. Two, right now they have issues with one of the specialty yarns or threads, because of all the things that have been happening around the world in the last few years. So they have some problems with deliveries, so it takes a long time to get from the company to wherever in the world. So that's another problem, and also this would be another huge project, and I think I would prefer to stitch it on more of a professional stand, which I don't have. And I wouldn't need it to be a big one, because I don't really have a space for a big one, but just something a bit more sturdy to stitch it than just holding things in my hand. So with chatelaines I will still have to wait, because they are also quite big, at least some of them, the ones that I like the most and would like to stitch the most, they are the big ones. So I will have to make some progress first on my projects that I have, and then maybe start thinking about a chatelaine. But yes, it would also be a dream project to work in the future. If you've liked the video, please like it and click the like. Also leave a comment down below, it's always nice to hear from you. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I post videos usually every week, and I alternate between cross stitch and crochet and craft tubes, where I show my crafty other crafts than just cross stitching. And soon there will be another wrap up video where I will show all the progress for the whole year of all the things that I'll manage to find, and just show what I managed to make between last year and this year. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!